Hey, I want to talk about a couple of things. Mainly problems that lie within the community of vacuums themselves. One thing that made me want to make this video was people making kind of video like these, but not telling the truth about them or what's actually going on in the community. Some people have made call-out videos about me, but they're not telling the truth either. First thing I want to get off my chest is vacuum cleaner Spiderman. He was I'm not going to say his actual name, but you know dang well who you are. He claims that he doesn't want to make drama, but he makes videos that want to make drama. Says that if you want to rant in the comments or start drama there, I'm going to delete your comment if you think that's going to scare me. First thing is, if you think that dressing up like Spider-Man is going to have your point, is going to give your point any more value, you're wrong. In fact, it's just going to make you look dumb. You can't dress up like a fictional cartoon superhero and act all professional and have people take you seriously. Plus, a lot of people still know what you look like because of your Instagram, your Facebook, and other videos you post. You're not protecting your identity when all of your other videos probably have your face in it. And one person, well actually two people, that he seemed to mention in his videos were Ralph's Vax and Intelitech Studios. Okay, let me talk to you a little bit something about Ralph. Ralph does not give two craps about the company Bissell. He even told me himself that he doesn't like Bissell that much. He only uses them because he has back problems. You know, your back doesn't want to give its full effort. So if you pick up something heavy, it's going to start hurting real bad. He has back problems, so he has to use lightweight vacuums. You think that guys like these get their info straight before they upload some, but they don't. Secondly, Ralph even told me and a bunch of other people in a Discord server that, hey, you know, I'm a Hoover and Orc guy. I just don't use them very much because of my back. But Spiderman, vacuum Spiderman, is just seeming to not pay attention to details and throw that all aside. But Ralph, and again, never really talks about this. He only talks about this in the Discord server, but making an assumption about someone and then talking trash about them, that is a really douchey thing to do. Next thing is his hate on Intelitech Studios. What did Chance ever do to you? Let me guess. He reviewed your favorite vacuum and didn't like it very much? Why do people seem to hate Chance so much? Is it because he likes both really high-end stuff that you can only get in countries overseas and stuff that you can find here in the States? Is it because he meets somewhere in the middle of those two? Like me, I like some high-end stuff, but I also like some not so high-end stuff. That Bissell Pet Hair Eraser right there, one of the few Bissells I think actually cleans my carpets fairly good. People really seem to hate him for reviewing some type of vacuum. Most of the times it's when he reviews cheap vacuums. The big guys up here, which I'm going to get into later, really seem to not like them. Okay, what did Chance ever do to you? Chance is totally innocent of any wrongdoings, unlike you, uh, more I like high-end stuff kind of guys, which are not innocent of anything. Chance seems to be more honest about high-end stuff and low-end stuff at the same time. And people seem to hate him on both ends of the spectrum, all because he said his own opinions. He likes the Bissell Powerlifter bagged pet. A lot of guys who are up here disagree with him. You can't disagree on an opinion. Really? You think you're going to change his opinion about a Bissell Powerlifter bagged pet? If he likes it, let him like it. It's none of your business. You don't see many people trashing my opinion on Eureka Maximas, because I think they clean my carpets pretty good. Sure, the filtration is not good at all, but if it cleans good, I'm gonna use it. Same thing with Chance. If he wants to use something high-end like his SIBO G1, which I know he's not going to use his X5, I'll get into that later, again. If he wants to use something like his SIBO G1, he's going to use his SIBO G1. If he wants to use something like his Bissell Power Force Bagless, whichever one he wants to use, he's going to use that too. Maybe he's going to use his Rubbermaid Bissell. We don't know. But he'll use whatever he wants to use. And the thing is, the reason why he's acceptable for liking cheaper, lower end stuff is because he's not going to bash your opinion about it, unlike some kids. You can't really hate on Chance for just liking stuff and not liking stuff. But then again, people will find a reason to hate anyone for any reason, and I'll get into that in a few seconds. The first thing I want to cover are people who are down here on the spectrum. They like cheap stuff. Not all of them, but there are a couple of people that I'd like to discuss. If you have paid attention to me anytime within the past few months, you know I made a video on a Bissell Power Force bagged 3522-6 from 2005, I think. And you'll know that I don't like it, which is perfectly fine. You know, someone doesn't like it, let them not like it. But not everybody feels the same way. I said, it feels like some of my Dysons even do better than this. And that didn't sit well with specifically one person. Buster 1849, I know you're friends with him, but I just gotta make this call out real fast. I'm still upset about it because it's completely ridiculous. Good old Jameson Young Fly Me decided to state his opinion in a kind of jokey-ish way. It's not as bad as some people would have done if they liked higher end stuff. In fact, you've probably seen the comment that the SIBO X5 guy left, saying that the age Bissell was over, which I know it's not going to sit well with a lot of people, but he doesn't care because he likes SIBO. I was like, I said, well, I tried it in my house, and I wasn't really pleased with the result. He was like, prove it. Just be fair. That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Then when I did the first competition, he decided that, hey, you see this little minute flaw? I'm going to expand it and make it look like a big problem. I'm going to tell you something. Me doing a pass with the DC-14 to another direction is not the same as going into doing two passes over the same area of flour. And I started to do a second pass with the slim ball, but instantly caught myself and brought back before I could even do anything to whatever was still in the carpet. I compared it to a couple of our machines, the Hoover Wind Tunnel Rewind, the Hoover Elite Rewind, the newest version that just says Rewind, the Eureka Maxima 4700A, the slightly newer version with the height adjustment, and the Eureka Airspeed Bagless, the AS1000, which all of those did a pretty respectable job. And the fact that they're bagless too, it's funny. But do you seriously think that pointing out every tiny little flaw that wasn't even that big of a deal is gonna fix anything? No, that's why I remade the video, and I was mad about him over that, which is why I remade the video, and that's why I sounded like I was about to throw something off the Nebraska State Capitol. Which I was. I wanted to throw that power force off the state capitol so I could prove to them that I don't like it. But then, of course, a lot of people would be mad. Whatever. Seriously, though, if someone doesn't like it, you can do the right thing and respect their opinion. That's what Buster does, and that's why I still watch his stuff, because he is a respectful person. Some people aren't, and especially the little kids. The little kids, you know. The ones who think that having a Bissell EasyVac is gonna have people stop disliking their stuff. The Bissell EasyVac's not gonna save your channel. But I'm gonna tell you, they will make anything that is rare, and if you don't like it, they're gonna make it sound like it's the best machine ever and you're just dumb for not liking it. When really, they're the big problem there. And that's the thing with vacuum cleaner Spiderman. So chances are someone didn't like his favorite vacuum, so he started drama in the comments and made it look like it wasn't his fault. Well, let me tell you something. If you start drama in the comments, someone's going to call you out on it. Don't play the victim. If I say I don't like a certain Bissell vacuum, it is my right to have the opinion. But of course, I'm not going to go on about rights, because people who go on about rights are also society's most horrible people. In fact, why do you think Trump was elected? Why do you think anyone was elected? In this country, anyone can run for president, and that's a problem. But getting back on track, these people will basically make you feel bad for disliking stuff. And that's wrong. If you're gonna make someone feel bad for not liking a certain vacuum cleaner, that's on you, not them. I don't like these things very much, and someone's gonna say, well, to be fair. And to your comments, I say, shut up and let me have my opinion without you intruding. Because I don't care if you have an opinion. It's when you start pushing it like it's going to boost your high school GPA is when I want to take this metal wand and whack you across the face with it. To be fair. At this point I hear to be fair at this point I hear to be fair so much that I just want to... Oh, never mind, because that's going to get my channel deleted again. YouTube still never gave me a good reason why they deleted my other channel, and I'm still mad at them about that. But seriously, if someone has an opinion about a cheap vacuum, and if they don't like it, that doesn't require your input. Unless they tell you, what do you think about this vacuum in the comments? If I never said that on the video the Power Force bagged, and to be fair, I probably never will ask for anyone's opinion because they always state it anyways. And that's where my next thing goes. Even the guys that like high-end stuff like Linhaas and Sibo and Mila, screw Mila. Mila sucks. And anything else like that, Warwork, whatever. It's always that stuff that they're so enthusiastic about, and they have to be so pushy about it. We get it. You like stuff that costs $600 that you imported from somewhere else. You know what I like? I like simple, honest, and truthful bagged vacuums. I like stuff that I can easily tune up, throw in a wooden brush roll, and just use it until it dies. And when is this thing gonna die? When the carbon brushes wear out, but even then I might be able to find replacements. These people wonder why everybody doesn't like their expensive, high-end vacuums. Because they're so freaking pushy about it. You know, Performance Reviews does that, which, seriously, dude, you're a fully grown adult and you're dissing someone who just likes Abyssal Heavy Duty because it cleans good. Like you did with Buster 1849. You're a full-grown man. Act like one. Then you have the Sibo X5 guy who will hate on anything cheap, even if it's that Eureka Airspeed bag, the ABS. He'd probably hate on that given any chance. Like, the bagless version was junk, so the bagged is probably no different. Even though the main problem with the bagless versions were the cyclones, which is why I like the baseline Eureka Airspeeds, because they didn't have cyclones. Of course, another thing that people really seem to push aside, but whatever. Eureka Airspeeds had a bad rap from the section sealed onwards, so I can't really blame them. But seriously, if you hate on anything cheap, even if someone is giving their honest opinion about it, you're no better than the kids that will hate on you for not liking cheap stuff. You're no better. So just shut up and enjoy the video. The guys who claim to be so civil. I'm so civilized, I won't diss you for liking whatever. Yeah, sure. This is a person that told Buster 1849, who is one of the persons, or one of the people that you'll never really see pushing their likings, to get a real vacuum. You want to know something? Abyssal is a real vacuum. This is a real vacuum. Everything is a real vacuum. If it plugs into a wall and it picks stuff up off of the floor, it's a real vacuum. Unless it's a toy, then it's a real vacuum. You see a lot of this junk when people go to diss something. Oh, you're gonna have some dirty carpets once you get a real vacuum over there. Like, shut up. Everything's a real vacuum and you're just upset. You know, it sounds like I'm upset because I am at these people because they won't shut up about their opinions. Everything is a real vacuum. Every vacuum is a real vacuum. If it plugs into the wall, if it sucks stuff up off of the floor, whether it's carpet or hard floor, a stick vac is a real vacuum. That 1930s Vorwerk that Restoration House restored is suction only, like a stick vac. It's a real vacuum. This Bissell Pet Hair Eraser is a real vacuum. They push real vacuum like something is gonna change something else, like this shark was bought at a Play Store. If you can buy it somewhere, it plugs into the wall and it picks up stuff off your floor good enough that it looks presentable on the outside, then it's a real vacuum. And I don't care what you have to say about that opinion. Just shut up. A lot of these guys really think that they're going to change the whole world with their high-end Sibos and Linhasses and Milas. Do you really think people have the money to buy that stuff? No. Remember, poverty is still a thing. There are some people that live in houses with electricity, but they only get about $25 a month. You know what they're going to buy? Not a Sibo, not a Warwick, not a Linhas, not a Mila. They're probably going to buy a Bissell, or a Eureka, or a Dirt Devil, whatever they can get their hands on that seems reasonable enough. Unless, of course, they make one of them and they just want something cheap, and that's on them for choosing something that's not good. But seriously, not everyone has the money to buy your high-end stuff that eventually is going to have as much electrical problems as the cars that are made in the same country. Some people are just so pushy about what they like that it's almost like I'm just sick of hearing it. I don't care about your high-end vacuums that have 5 different features that come from just the brush roll, have an automatic height adjustment that's positioned by another motor and a few sensors. You think I want to deal with that? No, if I want something that has an automatic height adjustment, I'm going to get something that doesn't rely on thousands of computers to do the work. I'm going to get something like that Eureka Maxima that I just filmed a few days ago. Well, about a week ago maybe. I want to get something like that. I don't even have to worry about waiting to adjust to the floor. They're just really so pushy about high-end vacuums that you just... It's almost tiring to deal with some of these older guys, about just as bad as the kids, if not worse. Especially guys that like Kirby's. They say that Kirby's are the best vacuums. They cost over $1,000. What are you talking about? A brand new Kirby Centuria 2 costs, well, not a Century 2. Kirby Avalier 2 costs about $1,200. And no one is going to want that if they don't have the money to. Even then, if I had anything to say about that, I'd say stay away from a Kirby if you don't want to have back pains before you reach your 60s. Plus, you know what does just about as good as a Kirby? This. You're not going to change anything with a giant chunk of metal that is basically a technology that's been around since 1908. Yeah. Kirby's are old technology, and sometimes, like old technology, it needs to be forgotten. Why do you think people stopped buying Thunderbolts? Thunderbolts are warning sirens, Kirby's are vacuums, but sometimes old technology just needs to be thrown out the window. And a couple of other things I'd like to talk about are these guys. These people who, when you're at a thrift store, even if you say you don't like a certain vacuum, they will tell you you should buy it. Now this one guy, Vac Info, yeah, I'm doing a call out, another one. Vac Info really seems to do this with dynamites. Dirt Devil dynamites. Now I'm gonna be honest, I ran a dynamite before in this house, before I had YouTube. And I didn't like it at all. I really didn't. I cleaned it up and made sure the filter was good. I made sure it had a good belt in it. The brush roll span just fine. And it had oil running into the bearings because, you know, stuff dries up. And it still didn't do good. on this carpet compared to some other stuff I had at the time. Like the Total Vision I sold a long time ago. Seriously. And they push Daredevil Dynamites like it's the best thing in the world. There are plenty of other things that claim better than Dynamites. The thing sitting behind me, the other thing sitting behind me, the thing sitting right next to me, not that thing. We don't care about sharks. Sharks gonna do good. But there are thousands of other vacuums that are gonna do better than a little dynamite. Why do you think it's called a quick vac? You're not gonna get the professional deep clean of a Eureka F&G from something that costs $44. And then my final spiel about this one guy who we've all dealt with, probably. We all know him, Matthew Antonucci. I don't know how many times I have to say this to get the point. I'm not going to take your stupid requests. And also, the Victory Smart Vac is dead. It doesn't turn on anymore. It's dead. And I don't want to fix it because I absolutely hate the Eureka Victories so much. So until I get something like a small drill press where I can clamp the motor in so I can sand the little places where the bearings sit to make new ones fit, that's not going to run again. And I don't want to take it apart to check the wiring to make sure I did everything right. Because at this point I don't even want to touch the thing anymore because it's been such a pain in my butt. YouTube gets so mad when you say swear words, so it's not like I want to get myself deleted again because YouTube is such a baby about this stuff. But seriously, the Victory Smart Vac has been dead for months now, almost a year. And you asking for it running is not going to change anything. Same guy who wants me to change my Eureka commercial to a shakeout bag. My Royal, he wants me to change it to a shakeout bag. I'm going to tell you, if you want something that's bagged, you're going to get something that's bagged. If you want something that filters good, you're going to get something that's bagged. If you want something that spews dust all over the place, then yeah, get a shakeout bag. That's none of my business. But if you want something that's good at its job, filtration-wise, you're not going to get a shakeout bag. If you want something that actually filters good, you're going to get something that has an actual bag in it. And what's the deal with him and shakeout bags? I hate shakeout bags with a passion, because that means I have to wash it. On my Eureka F&G, I don't have to wash the outer bag, because I put a regular bag in it, like some people don't. And it does its job. There's no dust going into the bag itself, the outer bag itself, so I don't have to wash it. Of course, you're going to have to with the shakeout bagless, but that's your fault for buying a shakeout bagless. That's not my business. I'm not going to convert any of my vacuums to shakeout bagged, because that's just dumb. Well, there's my little spiel all about stuff I find to be kind of a problem in this community, and if you kind of agree, maybe you'll give it a thumbs up. Maybe you won't. I don't have a say in what you do, but whatever. And if you feel offended, please feel free to leave a comment about it, because you know I'm not going to acknowledge it, so it's just going to be there. And if you feel like what I'm saying actually makes sense, also leave a comment, because I'm actually going to heart that. And if you feel like stating your unnecessary opinion about unnecessary topics, don't say anything, because I don't want to hear it. In fact, the only people I really want to hear from are the people I consider friends, like Rick Hoover and Teltech Studios. other few people, but the guys who just started talking in my comments, like CBLX5 guy, your opinions really don't mean anything to me, so you can say them if you want to, but I don't care. Say what you want about certain kinds of vacuums. Am I going to respond? No. Well, that's my little spiel for the day. Next up is probably going to be the review on this when I get back from Nashville, Tennessee. And yeah. See ya.